This is a rematch. A salty run back, as some of the fighting game community may say, from the Leaguepedia Invitational, where actually Dynamic won, but it was a 2-1.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm honestly surprised that Marn was able to take one game off of him. Like, I'm imagining Dynamic running away with it 50-0, and then game number 2, Dynamic's like, we'll just random all of our champions, and that's how Marn won. But I'm just kidding. We'll see how they play. These are they're top players, and now in particular that Marn isn't playing, they have a good chance. I'm just kidding. That's what Nick was saying back in the office. Chuper is a really strong AD, and we've seen that in the past with Chuper's Troopers.
Yes.
His AD performance has been fantastic. And then I think you said you thought it was 2 Pro is the one that's switching in for Marn. I don't know. It's either 2 Pro or Cleeks.
I believe so, but we'll see once the champs are actually fully set and assembled. Because Marn, when he is with the rest of the lineup, he does play AP mid.
Yeah.
And he's got actually a pretty good variety of champs he plays AP mid. A lot of strange champs you don't usually see played very often. I was actually looking at his stats earlier. He's got a lot of Xerath games under his belt.
A lot of Fizz too.
A lot of Fizz.
Xerath and Fizz are the two that I remember him playing the most. So unfortunately, no Fizz this game. Xerath isn't really that big of a deal to me, but they did play Xerath at MLG.
Yes,
I do remember that some.
It was against an Annie mid, and destroyed. But granted, was in the very early brackets. I think it was against Redact.
Okay.
It was like very first few rounds of the day.
They were putting on a show. I'm curious how Xerath. I think that Xerath has potential in competitive play, but right now he just really needs to be changed a little bit. Like, I don't see him in a battle of 2 really top teams. I don't see Xerath coming out on top.
And I think his place is more for going up against the very short-ranged APs. Like you have Annie.
Well, squishy ones too.
Squishy ones, Cassiopeia at times as well. But like we mentioned though, we're more likely not going to be seeing that today. But we do have the first pick Graves for Marn, number 1. Pretty much number 1 AD carry these days. Still very quick. Very picked quite often. Natural good first pick. Granted, I've seen a lot of Vayne coming out from Team Marn as well. But you got it established. But
it's also Chuper, so it's not their standard AD.
It's also Chuper. But for Dynamic though, Nunu and Janna. So more likely going to be Nunu jungle there.
Ooh, and actually going for the Gangplank. We'll see if they hold on to that. I really like the Gangplank changes. I'd like to see him move more into competitive play. The big thing is you don't have to make a decision now between harassing and between farming. So having that ability to just range farm is really nice. I think there's a lot of potential for us to see Gangplank moving into the bottom lane, and where we see the dual lane switching up top. A lot of times Yorick is a person that you put in there. I've seen Urgot hold the 1v2 lane before, but I think Gangplank with these changes could be someone we see more often. Maybe pass off the blue to him right off the bat. He can just sit there and farm with his parlay all day, no big deal. So they pick up Gangplank and then Olaf. So we don't know which one is top. There is that flexibility. Gangplank used to be one of the top junglers in the game, but really hasn't seen that much play in anything really recently.
Do remember though, at MLG, Marn did actually run Gangplank support, and we've talked a little bit about this a while back. Dignitas is something they used to run.
Mm-hmm.
Is Gangplank still a viable support?
It depends on the matchup. With Graves, it's a little bit more difficult. Yes, Gangplank is. Gangplank's actually really similar to Nunu, so you expect to be giving your your AD that kind of a boost. You give him either the Blood Boil or the Raise Morale, but then you're also looking for range harass. And so a lot of times Gangplank used to be played with champions like Caitlyn, when Caitlyn was back and played a lot, because Caitlyn could already control the lane on her own, and what Gangplank brought to the table was extra harass. So really you're just using Gangplank because you knew it was going to be an easy lane already, and you expected Gangplank to contribute a lot in fights later with his Raise Morale, his ultimate, and then just getting naturally tanky. So we'll see. It's probably going to be a Gangplank top, though, with an Olaf in the jungle. We'll actually see who's going which role there. But Darius or Jace is actually kind of interesting. If they want to go ahead and do it, that would be unusual to say the least. But I'd be fine with it. An all physical damage team.
It's something they've done. It's something Martin has done before. It's something they're comfortable with. And also, I personally have actually been seeing a lot of Jason the Jungle. How do you think?
Really?
I have a lot of it. How do you think he fares there?
I can't imagine Jace faring well at all. I'm baffled.
It's
he's a melee, so
yeah.
I'm sure he could clear the jungle fast enough. He has the attack speed buff, his W.
I mean, I've like over the past like 2-3 days, like I've just been seeing a lot of Jason the Jungle, a lot of it, and what he does provide. It's the knockback. It's a lot of that's like a little bit of CC and trying to follow up with the damage. I rarely ever see him go for the ganks, in the ranged mode, but the knockback can be a pretty huge pain. But the thing is, though, it's basically half of L-Star, I feel.
Yeah. Well, that's not. I don't think that's going to happen. Like you said, it is probably going to be a Gangplank support, which is unusual, and that means that Jace is going to be in that top lane. So, yeah, we'll see how this is going to kind of work out. Both teams, very unusual teams.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamic, they're looking to have fun. They've actually been playing a lot of Nidalee recently with Zion Spartan. And, Nidalee can control the top lane very well against a number of champions. Jace is actually a nice matchup for Nidalee. They're very similar champions in their playstyle, but Nidalee's actually a little bit stronger in lane, has the heal, for that constant harass. But then, I don't know, both teams very unusual with their kind of play setup. So we'll see how this is going to kind of work. Atlanta playing Master Yi. It's been so long since I have seen Yi in the jungle. And then we also have a support Janna mid. AP Janna.
Well, I think the last time we saw Atlanta jungle Yi was way back in Killing Spree. It's been a long time, and I do remember he had quite a good amount of success. But Yi, he's a difficult jungler. Like he doesn't provide too much in CC. He's just absolute pure damage.
Yeah.
But you do have it's just dynamics just running really what seems to be just pure damage.
Well, Yi, the big thing is he just farms. I mean, that's all he does all game. You farm. You can push really easily. Both Yi and Nidalee have that split push potential. So we'll see how that kind of works. Janna can disengage fights very easily. So if they get the dual split push with both Yi and Nidalee, that could work. They can put constant pressure on the turrets. Yi's just, incredibly fast. Well, I don't know. I'm really curious to see how it'll work. I don't know, Martin's team or Sans Martin, they, are a little bit more standard of a team, but it's still very unusual. They have two melees, then they're running a double AD comp, basically. Lots of physical damage. Orianna can control the fights, can, help them be pretty tanky. However, they really are lacking a lot of magic damage. And Orianna has some magic damage, but her damage output compared with other APs is actually fairly low. And then later on, if you can't land her combos, or if the team is kind of split, then you can struggle. And Dynamics' team is going to generally be split up. They're not going to, be all sticking in an AoE, which means that Orianna's not going to get off her full damage potential. So we'll see how that's going to factor into play. But the big thing is that both teams want to control the lanes, and Dynamic, they honestly have slightly stronger lanes.
And in terms of controlling the lanes and split pushing, when we last saw Atlanta with MTW. I believe it was the qualifier finals, actually against Dynamic. The first set of qualifiers, they were in Sivir, a huge split pushing monster, and it was a strat that MTW tried to limited success before that. I'm starting to wonder if maybe some of that strategy is actually now transitioned over with Atlanta now joining Dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. They've been using Nidalee with Zion Spartan for a long time, though. And Zion Spartan, that was before he actually joined the team. That was one of his top champions, both in competitive play and also in ranked. He used Nidalee a lot at IPL 4. He's used it a number of times. We'll have to see. I mean, the Yi is an unusual pick, and it does bring that split pushing potential. The big thing with Yi, I actually really like Yi. Since the changes, he just hasn't quite made it into play. Yeah, it is 80 nids. That's kind of standard. He hasn't made it back into play, but a while ago, the biggest issue with Yi used to be the fact that his jungling was so unruly. It was so inconsistent. You had to, rely on these random procs. You just go and you attack the race, and you're like, oh God, please, I just, let me hit my Q, let me hit it and kill these minions. Oh, dang it, I didn't. But then they made it a little bit more consistent, where the first thing that you attack, you are going to get an auto proc, so you can kill those race and whatnot very easily. So he clears the jungle exceptionally well. He has great jungling speed. The only issue is Olaf is also a fast jungler. So yes. I could kind of see Yi as a counter jungle against a slow jungler, a counter ganker like Nautilus or something like that. But against Olaf, it's kind of unusual. I'm excited to see how it'll work, though.
It's gonna be good. This is gonna be a nice little seminar too, as well, for anyone who wants to possibly learn a few oddball champs, as they say. Not rarely as used, not rarely as seen, but
I like the seminar idea. We're just like...
yeah, it is a little seminar.
So if we can move on to the next slide, ladies and gentlemen, we see that in Table A1, Jace, not often played, but he is a new champion, and we'll get to see how he's going to work. Yeah, no, it should be a lot of fun.
And when you compare him to Column B, when you have Master Yi traversing, now he's alpha striking. Actually, he's moving into... Actually, he's moving across the Excel sheet. Get him,
however,
stop him.
You're mistaken, sir. It's only in the case of a heavy AoE team do you use column B. In a physical damage team, you substitute B for column C-7, which has the ancillary fields there.
I think at this point we're just going to make IPL 5 just a series of PowerPoint presentations.
I'm down with that. I'm down.
Let's do that. And I've seen some very hilarious PowerPoint presentations in my day. Let me tell you what. And
I'll tell you what, Baba.
I was actually watching Bobby Hankill earlier, like just getting
the player.
The player.
Okay, yeah.
The play. Well, if I could see the actual.
No, yeah, he actually used to be on Epic at one point in time.
Yes, he did.
He was AD for Epic. He's hopped around a number of teams.
So you got Atlanta, Dad Atlanta here, the new dynamic dad. On dynamic jungling the Master Yi. It's gonna end a lot of. I remember after the Riot Invitational recently, there's a lot of talk about the Dunk Master Yi.
Yeah.
Now, let's do a quick review. At what point does Yi get so farmed to which he becomes indeed the Dunk Master?
That's really hard to say. There's so many factors, and I don't know. I never think of Yi as the Dunk Master. I know there's a couple of guys that do. I think Pendragon is the one that plays a lot of Yi. That's like all he plays when he plays LoL. He just constantly plays Yi, and he gets like a quick Thorn Mail in the jungle and just like dives people underneath turrets. But in the meantime, Sans Marn, they're being really aggressive here. They actually have a really strong level 1 team, lots of burst damage, but Atlanta, he does see them. He's got to get out of there, so they're going to be chasing. The Axe does not hit. They have the raise morale. They actually flash in the exhaust, the cleave. They're going to be chasing him down. He's really in a terrible position right now. He gets the flash out. He should be okay now.
Atlanta, he's still in a full retreat, though. He's not out of the woods yet. Flash in response. Anti-Ignite going down. Atlanta, where did he go? The Alpha Strike did disappear for a second, but First Blood going to be going to the Orianna. Team Marn going to be grabbing that one, but Orianna still not out of the woods yet. There you go. Zion Spartan grabbing that kill, but is weak in response, though. Corki starting to clean up, though. Look at
Marn.
Go, Marn. What happened?
Oh, they needed their Marn to tell them, hey guys, let's not feed and lose within the first minute of the game.
They're not out yet, though.
I thought he had cleared it. I thought he was good, but I guess they're just a little bit too far. A turret too far. They couldn't make it back. So 3-1 for Dynamic already. Almost a K gold lead, and it's where the kills are going to also. So Corki 2-0-1. That is the key. Corki now with the Nunu. Nunu's one of the best duelists in the game. So Corki being able to go in with the Berserker Greaves. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't start off, with like a Doran's or something. But Berserker Greaves is fine. But with the pressure that Nunu also provides, they can just abuse that bottom lane and just constantly harass down Graves, and then get out of there and not take much damage in return.
I hope that right now Team Marn, they do have some sort of strategy to kind of counteract it, because Gangplank, we talked about Gangplank support before, but I'm not sure if there's a whole lot that he can actually provide to try and bounce back this lane with such a huge disadvantage. Maybe when he's 6, when he gets the ult, maybe there's something there to kind of try and push the wave, push him away.
But Yi chasing down Olaf in the jungle. Oh, he gets right out of there. I don't think he saw him. I think he was just coming up, and clg.na actually turned the corner and got into the shadows right before he got there.
That's very hairy. And you also see clg.na, he's actually sticking around.
I think he's pulling the red, did he? Yes, I think he did. He didn't.
He's camping it out. He's camping it out. He's trying to wait. He's trying to get the timing down for when it would naturally finish the small golems and come back to red. But you'll see, though, he is actually starting to, he's camping out top lane. May actually have something here to say against Jace.
Yeah, and as a result, Olaf is actually going right into that red. So he's like, oh, Yi, you're there. All right, I'll try and take this real quick. He doesn't have a lot of time, so it's going to be really close before Atlanta gets in there, but he does get it.
He got it, and now it's time for him to run the F out of there. But Janet is nearby, though, could intercept this. There is the slow. There is the Alpha Strike. That's a lot of damage. He is slowed. Will he get out of there? No! Atlanta picks that one up and gets the double buff.
Yeah, and no ghosts from the earlier level 1 fight. Zion Spartan actually chasing down Nick Wu. One more attack would have been able to do it. The Ignite just barely not able to finish it there, so he's able to get back. But that's the kind of harass that Zion Spartan can have. And actually, Pixel way out of position. They're chasing him down. They have the movement speed from 2 Pro for you. If they can get in range, just barely getting out of there.
And now you also got Oriana in the mid. You got Keelix trying to run away from this Janner, from this Yi. Oh, it's still going to be able to just deflect them away with the ball.
Oh, but Nidalee in the meantime still chasing after Chase. This game is absolutely ridiculous right now. They're all running around looking for kills left and right. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, that kind of counter pressure from Team Sans Marne, it will allow them to kind of get back in the game. If they can put the pressure onto them. Berserker Graves and Adorans for Corki right now, while Graves is still in lane. That is going to be oppressive.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And that's just, that's so much damage. He has the additional moving speed on top of what the Blood Boil the Nunu's already going to be giving him. That's just sheer outright abuse. But I will say, though, and I've said it again, any match with Team Marne, you know it's going to be exciting. You know it's going to be a show. And already, this has been a great and exciting game.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we'll see how it'll work. Actually picking up on the mini golems here, so that's always a nice call. Gangplank is extremely tanky, getting that extra farm because the lane's all the way on the other side. This is the issue now. So Corki, because he's so far ahead, he can just easily stall them right now. He can keep the lane on his side and just zone out Graves. So it's going to be very difficult for them to get back in the game. I'm curious to see how much of an impact Gangplank can have as the game progresses if they don't get shut down. But that's the big concern for them right now, to get Graves farmed and not just outright lose against Corki.
If Gangplank, though, the best thing Gangplank can do, though, is just stick it out until he hits 6.
Yeah.
Because it is a global ultimate. It is something that can change, the game in any lane, not just bot.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. Zion Spartan chasing out clg.na. Get out of here. Get some damage. Yeah, actually taking some decent harass. Hits another trap. So just clearing them for him. And actually, Janna has been moving up into the top lane. So maybe trying to catch off clg.na. He's actually going to go sit in a bush for him.
Paradoxical camping out that bush. We'll see Olaf come on up. Gonna give a little bit of a hide. That tornado, just so much damage.
Oh.
But just auto attacks will be able to do it after all that CC.
Yeah, sorry, clg.na. That's kind of a shame. But yeah. Actually, Paradoxical had done the exact same thing against Curse. When we saw Curse versus Dynamic the other day, Saint Vicious was playing as Shogath, and Paradoxical recognized, all right, he's low. He ran and sat in the brush by blue buff, picked up the kill. It was the first blood in that game, and just abused him. Oh, wow, the one last shot. He curved the bullet.
Wanted style. I wonder if it actually followed him to base and hit him.
Yeah. I think it did, but we'll have to see. Yi, in the meantime, he's been able to keep up some. He started off with that Vamp Scepter. Nick Wu kind of struggling in that top lane. That's the big issue, against Nidalee. Now, Jace, as a champion, he's kind of an in-betweener. So in the top lane, you can get, if you're playing against like a melee, you can get that ranged harass successfully against a melee. And then, you also have that melee form. But the big thing against Nidalee is you either want to have a sustain lane, which Jace doesn't, or you want to have a lane where you're going to be so strong that you can just chase down Nidalee and pick up kills. And unfortunately, that isn't the case with Jace. Zion Spartan should be able to win these 1v1s, and he's actually taking a lot of damage while Atlanta is here as well. And there is a quick kill, one more attack. Nick Wu does go down.
Nice.
Didn't even really have a shot there.
So yeah, what can Jace actually do to just stick it out? I mean, at this point, any objective for a top laner is to just not die.
Yeah.
So at this point, how does Jace not die?
Well, the big thing is you need good ward coverage. You need to prevent Yi from coming up there and picking up those kills. And then also, just sit back, play a little bit more defensively.
Oh, man.
I was not expecting that.
Neither was I.
That's a shame. So Dynamic 7-1 right now, just taking it to Marn. Marn is, sitting in his semi-truck, holding on to his package of deliverables and frozen goods, since I'm assuming it's a frozen truck. And he's like watching on his little computer screen or iPhone. He's like, "Oh, team, what are you doing to me? Bad mouthing my name."
Martin, I hope you are like on your phone watching the stream right now, though. But still though, your team. We've seen bigger comebacks than this, though. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's just 3K.
It's only 3K, and even in the grand scheme of things, okay, early on.
Oh, but Nidalee actually meeting up with Olaf in the jungle. I don't even know what Zion Spartan. No, he just walks right past him. Yeah, but this means that Olaf can come in from behind. I'm not sure that it's going to matter, though, because Nidalee can chase them down, has the exhaust. Corki's here as well. Oh, Paradoxical going down in the mid lane, but in the meantime, Graves is being chased out by Corki and Nunu, and they really have to worry about that Nidalee.
Pixel, though, is still in pursuit, and then Graves trying to ult, but Zion Spartan just a little bit too quick for him. Pixel desperately trying to run away. Nidalee, he'll keep him topped off, and there you go, the double kill for Zion Spartan. And now 2Pro4U is in a full, he's just trying to camp out the tower, manages to get the parlay, get some damage down onto Zig before having to walk back to base. But Pixel is also still in pursuit, Ward going down in that small bush just to make sure that Gangplank cannot hide mutual backing. But Zion Spartan, if he can just manage to close the gap and get a spear, that'd be great, but unfortunately that will not be happening.
Yeah, and it's surprisingly almost an even exchange for Bard. They're still behind because of the abilities for them to push. Oh, wow.
Gangplank ult actually
One
going
more
down.
cannon.
Could have actually taken out Pixel there.
Yeah, but we're actually seeing Yi and Paradoxical up top chasing down Jace, so they're going to have to worry about that. He will get some nice damage on the Paradoxical, but it's just not enough. He still has the shield. If Yi comes in, gets the Q, picks up the kill just as he tried to dive. Oh, Nunu.
And there you go. You got Graves taking down Nunu here, but Zion Spartan will get that revenge. clg.na still in pursuit. Zion Spartan is low. All that true damage could actually make a difference here. Waiting for another axe. If clg.na actually just ran over and picked it up, he could have had juke. Axe? No juke. clg.na gets that kill.
Yeah, just barely. I think clg.na actually had the axe up for a little bit, and he was waiting for Zion Spartan to do one more pounce because he knew, all right, if I throw it and he pounces, he can maybe get out of the way. But the second he pounces, I know I still have the range to hit it, and I'm just gonna target right wherever he's landing. There's no way for him to dodge. Perfect execution there, but. In the meantime, I really think it's interesting, the Yi, that, Yi, because he can push lanes so effectively as a jungler, and because he can, run into lane and be pretty safe, he did go top and lane against Jace for a little bit, allowing Zion Spartan the opportunity to leave. So a lot of times you kind of look at that as, oh, they're losing the lane now, Jace is going to catch up, he's going to get back into this game.
Oh, Zig may have pushed up a little bit too far, but here comes Pixel from behind through the tri-brush, but the Graves ult doing a fair amount of damage, and Trooper going to be able to grab that kill. Now Pixel, having taken the long way around, is kind of regretting the decision, and Trooper, 2Pro4U in pursuit still. Buckshot going down, waiting for the parlay, something, anything. 2Pro4U taking the turret, and they will still manage to get that kill. And I gotta mention too, 2Pro4U, as that creep wave is actually coming up, you saw Gangplank start to tank the minions and lead them up.
Oh, Zion Spartan, another kill against Nick Wu. Just not a whole lot of options there. And Atlanta chasing down clg.na. One more attack, he gets the kill.
A lot of stuff, and Atlanta's actually still going in on this, but there's a Gangplank ult double kill for Atlanta. Monsoon from Paradoxical trying to keep everybody safe, but the attack move, no, Trooper will be able to pick that one up. Atlanta now has to retreat through enemy territory.
Yeah, I think Paradoxical, he was sitting under there. Atlanta, when he used his Alpha Strike, he disengaged turret aggro, and so Paradoxical wasn't expecting it really. He started taking turret hits. He was like, oh, shit, let me get out of here. But Atlanta's able to retreat very easily. Zion Spartan still pushing down that top lane. The game's a little bit closer than it was a bit ago. Everyone's just kind of running around. It's one of the higher score games at this point in the game, but 8-14 currently. Dynamics still has the lead, but MRN is definitely holding in there.
They still have opportunities, wonderful opportunities to actually, if they can have a team fight, a full 5 team fight actually sway in their favor, I think they definitely have, enough damage to really kind of come back here, because you do have Orianna, you do have a fair amount of CC, and the Gangplank ult, I think, is actually going to be really helpful later on.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. I mean, that's the benefit of Gangplank. It's the same thing with Nunu, though. Olaf is setting up here, so Nunu actually engaging on both Gangplank and Graves here, but the exhaust goes off, and clg.na is in hot pursuit. He throws off the axe, but doesn't hit him. Will pick it up again, though, for Pixel, but misses again. Pixel is still being chased out of there. He probably should just throw off his ultimate and get out, but one more attack. He does go down. The exhaust goes off onto Olaf, but they're able to get out of there. But now Janna is here as well in that bottom lane, and Corki and Janna are going to duel with them.
Oh, yeah, Gangplank, though, does find out Zig. 2Pro4U still in pursuit, and clg.na looking to duel it out with Janna. Once again, wants revenge for that earlier kill, but Gangplank is still ignited. Shut down from Yi, going down into Graves. We'll go to that in a second, but there you go. clg.na's 2v1ing, unfortunate.
Yeah, and actually, Zion Spartan able to pick up the kill onto 2Pro4U, or no, Khalix, Orianna in that bot lane.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Nice timing. Nice
Yeah,
positioning from Atlanta.
Nidalee had just been chasing Orianna forever also down there, but that's kind of like what they have with both the Yi there chasing down Graves and the Nidalee. They have great chasing potential, and you couple that with Janna's passive, they can just, for days chase them. And you look at the kind of champions that Team Marn, their team has. Orianna, she, if you get close range, one of the best ways to counter out Orianna is getting in between her and her balls, and then, all of a sudden she has to wait for her cooldowns and whatnot. She gets no damage, and you just get right up in her face. Nidalee can do that easily. You just pounce right out of the path of a ball, no big deal. Yi can do that as well. So these kind of chasing potential teams with, great pushing potential also as they get the mid tower, just emphasizing that point.
Mid tower, and also Atlanta grabbed a dragon earlier as well, but now with the mid tier 1 gone, Dynamic are just going to go fall back happy with their spoils for the moment.
Yeah, they're pretty pleased with themselves there. I mean, they're enjoying this game.
Yeah.
You can tell that Atlanta a little bit low, but not really a whole lot of options for Orianna here. So that's going to be kind of interesting as the game progresses. How is Marn going to force those exchanges where, Dynamic has to just sit there and take it? So, I mean, they want the organized fight, but Dynamic's team is just built on chaos.
And there you go, Valkyrie over the wall from Corki, trying to get some harass down onto Orianna, but the ball and the slow will keep them delayed just for a little bit, though. Want to kill some time. Nick Wu is in position here, over the wall, trying to make something fancy happen. Pixel being trapped, but there you go, the ult going down from Orianna down onto Zig. That kill will happen. Nick Wu with the kill steal a little bit there.
Yeah, I really love the long-range Q through the acceleration gate. Yi a little bit caught out here, and Pixel as well. He's probably just going to throw off his ultimate. It's going to be a lot of AoE damage. Paradoxical's here as well. He throws off the Monsoon, but they are going down pretty quickly. Atlanta is able to get a kill, but he's going to go down. Olaf chasing him, gets the kill. Paradoxical trying to retreat. Nick Wu not able to capitalize on it, but even so, a one fight for Marn.
Huge fight for Marn. Wonderful fight for Marn. But here's the thing, though. Zion Spartan, not a factor in that fight, really, at all. It was just completely away.
Yeah, I mean, these are kind of careless fights for Dynamic. They're just, allowing themselves to get caught off. That's going to be good for any team that can do that. But really, it's also allowing Marn to force engages. And Dynamic, they don't want to have, any fights really. They just want to kind of run around and split push and, just not allow them to do anything. But Zion Spartan, we'll see if he sees clg.na. He sees him now. He throws off the jump, and one more time, the pounce picks up the kill, even through the exhaust.
That was quick. That was almost too quick, actually. But now, yeah, as you're talking about earlier, if they really want to engage there, if they really want to engage, period, they're using an ult, either Orianna ult or Gangplank ult, and something's going to be wasted.
Oh, the spear!
Ooh, Nick, woo.
Not as much damage as an AP in Italy, but still,
it still hurts. You still have that chink sound, and it's like, every time it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, and like you were saying, it's in order for Marn to engage, there's very few abilities that they have for that initiation. Jupiter chasing out Zig, he's going to be fine, and Zion Spartan still needs to get out of there, but he has the mobility to retreat. So like you were saying, they need to use either the Orianna ult or the Gangplank ult. Gangplank has actually great initiation. As a team, that's one of his big strengths is forcing a fight with both the ultimate and the raised morale. It's that built-in, Shirelia's is awesome. But the issue is that Janna, they already have a lot of mobility, and actually Zion Spartan chasing down 2 pro for you, even through the exhaust. One more attack, he gets the kill. Missing the spear. There it is. So not only do they have a lot of mobility, but Janna also gives them that quick disengage where all of a sudden Marn's like, wow, we blew everything and we still couldn't force a fight.
Yeah, that Monsoon is going to be huge for Dynamic. Atlanta does see Cleeks here in the jungle, popping up that Highlander. It's a lot of damage. Manages to get the kill, but will not be able to escape, unfortunately. But in the meantime, though, you do have Zion Spartan amidst all of that chaos, taking down the top tier 2.
Yeah, and actually Zion Spartan turning into Nick Wu one more time, just chasing him down as that Nidalee. He throws off the movement speed boost. He's able to get out of there.
Yeah, Nick Wu knows that that's really not an engagement he wants to make. He learned that earlier on during the laning phase, that 1v1 fighting right now against Zion Spartan, that's just no. That's a big no.
Oh, wow. All right. So just, kind of walk into him. Oh, I guess, so they think he's DC'd. Wow, there you go.
How rude.
Yeah, that's just fantastic. Everyone, give Dynamic a round of applause. Corki was like, wow, this Gangplank is an idiot. I'm just going to kill. Oh, no, wait. He might have DC'd. I'll hold off for a second. So Zig not picking up on the kill there. I don't know if he DC'd or not. He might have just been trolling. Yeah, I think he might have been. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. The Jace versus Nidalee thing is definitely interesting because I've been talking with some players recently and like some of the guys from Curse about their thoughts on Jace in the top lane. Wings of Death, he has been playing Jace some. But their kind of thought has been, why would I want to play Jace when I could just play AD Nidalee, who would just be a stronger version? In the meantime, they try and force that fight with that Gangplank ult. They are still chasing, but the Monsoon gets them out of there as Atlanta comes in from behind.
Oh, something, anything manages to get it, but will not escape from that one. And that's what we were talking about earlier, about the Monsoon. Go ahead and disengage with it, but Janna may not leave here. Zion Spartan and Pixel in the middle of the fight. There's Nunu with the ult. Will he get the full proc on damage? Yes, he will. clg.na will be getting the bulk of that going down. Trooper will be next. 2-pro for you flashing over the wall, but there you go. You got Zig and Pixel. Nice spear.
Yeah, they have control of this game now. Oh, the teleport. That was fun. But yeah, no, so it's you know, just a great play all around, dynamic. They know that this game's under control. They're not concerned at all. Yeah, so back to Jason Nidalee, they're kind of saying, you know, AD Nidalee you do the same things that Jace does except better. The one thing that Jace provides is the movement speed, but they're kind of like, oh yeah, I'm not sure that it's that valuable. So you know, in this kind of a matchup, you can see just readily available Jace versus Nidalee. Nidalee has the upper hand in that lane, and they are able to pick up another turret. They can back off and then just continue their pushing shenanigans.
Yeah, and on that same vein, though, like we were talking about the jungle Jace earlier, kind of like a similar thing there as well. I mean, Jace, usually see him in the jungle with the hammer, and whatever he can do, Alistar can just do really a little bit better, but just really slightly less damage. Spear chunking out Queeks there, will manage to get to safety. Pixel now in full retreat.
Atlanta
does
actually
get the
picking it
kill.
up.
Nice. Mixes to pick that up, but will he be able to get out of there? He's pretty speedy. I think he might be able to.
Yeah, and that's pretty funny. He is kind of a trolly character. Zion Spartan still chasing and just getting that constant harass damage. Atlanta, go ahead and die for it. Just go for
Let's
it.
go.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
I mean, the disengages for Yi are actually kind of interesting. So if they don't have disables, like this team doesn't, they only have Jace and Orianna. If they don't have disables, then the meditate can just be unstoppable later in the game. You heal so much, you get so much armor and magic resist. Then also using the Alpha Strike, and actually, one more attack could have done it. Chuper almost picking up the kill. The Gangplank should be able to pick it up. Nick Wu chasing him down. The Monsoon, though, barely able to get out of there, and actually a Whirlwind as well. It looked like he was going down, but he's able to retreat. And actually, Chuper still chasing. Oh, he does go down. 2-pro for you goes down as well. Nick Wu finally giving up on this Janna.
He's still trying, but there you go. The triple kill for Atlanta will manage to pick that up. And in the meantime, you also had Orianna grabbing the kill down onto the Nidalee for a nice little shutdown. Varn's not out yet.
No. They're not, when they're 14K down. Yeah, no, I mean, they're not really, but this game is, we'll see what happens in game number 2 is the way to say that they're not out of this yet. But they do pick up this mid turret. They will be able to get this inhibitor as well. They have enough time with the members being down. And then the issue is with that split push, they can push down both top and bottom at the same time. And it's just so difficult for Martin to chase the members down.
You do have Zig soloed out here. Will Valkyrie away, and he got to everyone from Team Martin trying to follow up. But you do also have Pixel here caught out a little bit from Queeks. The Orb trying his best as he can to try and follow up. There's Nick Wu out there with the aggressive flash, looking for all the damage necessary to get that kill. The Nunu ult will not be doing a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, and it's actually both Yi and Corki. They split ways. They're trying to get out of there. Atlanta is in the middle of the team, though. If he can get the knockback, but he uses the no disable ultimate, he's able to just burn his way out of there. And Yi is just so fast, it's really difficult to chase him down.
That's what really comes to mind every time I see a Yi do an escape like that.
Well, that's what. Have you seen the Zoidberg Urgot skin? That it's a community skin.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. In the meantime, Zig chasing into clg.na. He's actually probably going to go down himself. One more attack, though. If he can pick it up, he gets the kill. And they're actually kiting out Gangplank, almost taking him down, but will go down himself. Paradoxical in the middle of the team. The Orianna ultimate keeping him safe, but trying to burst them down. Does go down. In the meantime, Zion Spartan pushing up top. Yeah, so the Urgot Zoidberg skin, it's basically exactly what it sounds, but I'm just imagining going like a full movement speed Urgot build so that you can, run around the map like that.
That'd be amazing. But that last fight, though, I think that Orianna ult kind of actually really helped Marn more than it did Dynamic, though. Kind of actually brought Jace a little bit closer.
Zion Spartan. One more attack. He almost had it.
Oh.
He felt pity for Gangplank.
Yeah.
That just like earlier, Dynamic keeps pitying Gangplank, and that's the only reason he's alive right now.
But yeah, let's Zion will actually go ahead back out here. Will not get aggressive, not get too greedy. You're gonna leave that inhibitor up for now. They still have the one they got previous, but here you go. You got Atlanta, you got Pixel starting up on the Baron. You got the Consume, and then you just got a guy who can just attack so often. His attack. What is Atlanta's attack speed right now? I'm actually kind of curious. 1.9. Which, by the way, if you did not know, attack speed actually maxes out at 2.5.
Yeah, that's also without his ultimate, but they're able to grab the Baron extremely easily, and Atlanta just fearless, walking right into the middle of the enemy team. Orianna hits the ult on both Corki and Nunu, but they have to back out of there. Nick Wu trying to get engaged, but they should be okay, and Dynamic is able to disengage.
Atlanta is still in pursuit, though. Ghost being popped. Nick Wu is now separated a little bit from the rest of the team. clg.na out in front. Zig. Zion Spartan being chased by 4 members of Marn, but you do have the Orianna ult keeping everyone slow just for a minute. Zion Spartan trying to get a little bit of damage, and there's Atlanta with the Alpha Strike, managing to kill an Orianna, but in the meantime, you also have Nick Wu going down to 2 members of Dynamic. Here you go. Here's the dunk.
The spear.
The spear stole the dunk. The spear stole the
that's
dunk.
so rude. If he actually check Yi's cooldowns real quick, because so they're okay.
Okay.
Yi's cooldowns do reset on kills. If that steal had maybe put him out of position, that would be an issue. But they're going to be cool. There's no hard feelings there. But yeah, this is going to be the Nexus. Paradoxical just poking in on that turret. But yeah, really interesting play, I'll say, from Dynamic. I'd like to see this in Season 2 championships. I think the Yi Nidalee combo.
Well, interesting play all around. But you know what? That's the thing, though. I mentioned it before. Team Marn. When you have Team Marn in the building, it's a show. It really is a show. It's a very entertaining show, and I'm loving this. I really am. But alas, the Nexus must fall. Game 1 going to be going to Team Dynamic. Maybe a little bit more sodium right now in Team Marn's diet if Dynamic manages to take the next one as well.
You said that, and for a second, I was like, sodium? What the hell are you talking about? But then I was like, oh, right, fighting games, they're salty.
Yeah.
Oh. Wah, wah.
But that's the thing, though. You still have, this is a best of 3. So there is definitely an opportunity for Marn to actually, Team Marn to actually come back from this one. But for now, though, let's not sugarcoat it, though.
Yeah.
Wacky comps, wacky champ picks really all around.
Yeah, no, definitely. It'll be interesting to see how they change things up coming into the next game. Yi, clearly band of the century. I just don't see how Marn is ever going to accomplish anything playing against a Yi of that caliber. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It's what kind of a team they kind of run into the next game.
So with that, I think we're actually going to go to a quick commercial, and we will be right back going to game number 2, Dynamic versus Marn, the last of the IPL show matches this week. Back in a second.